my peace, Lord, my joy, Alpha and Omega, my hope, strength, Jehovah, fortress, lion, you are, I am that I am, all that I need, Jesus, Jesus, you are, I am that I am, all that I need, Jesus, Jesus.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Tea Time with Charlie and Sharon. As you can see, I'm here by myself, but I do have my cup, and I have my lovely queen on the cup right there with me. This is from, of course, this is from the Christian Fellowship Group. We want to thank you guys again for these lovely cups, man. I just absolutely love them. I really do. We just love these cups. But anyway, I'm just coming on here to give you a little update, and also something that God has placed up on my heart. But first and foremost, I would like to thank everyone. I would like to thank everyone for praying for Sharon. Man, we feel your prayers, and we know that she has been lifted up before our Lord and our Savior and the great physician, our healer. And look, guys, she's doing very well. Now, she's, well, she says she's slowly coming back, but I see her fastly coming back. So things are really, really looking good. Guys, when this first happened, I've titled this Fear, Don't Receive It. I've titled this Fear, Don't Receive It because when this first happened to Sharon, it was on a Tuesday. It was on a Tuesday afternoon when she first began to experience, for lack of a better word, I guess I have to say, a little bit, it's not vertigo, but she felt like she couldn't keep her balance at times, like she was being pulled to the right. That's what she said after she came downstairs from working upstairs. She was working on putting some things up, and you've seen her post of what she's done with our daughter's Jade's bedroom, and it is absolutely phenomenal what she did. But I kept telling her, "You're doing too much. You're doing too much." But she's a woman that likes to stay busy. She's a woman that likes to stay active. She can't be passive. She's very active. And once she set her mind to do something, she's going to do it. That's just her nature. That's just who she is. And so she was finishing up upstairs. She was doing some things, some straightening up. And then that's when she came downstairs and she said that. And I said, oh, okay. We were thinking that it was an inner ear thing that was happening because, the allergies here is very strange in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Even though it's super cold outside, we are experiencing allergic or allergens in the air that have, we sneezing and, it's just crazy, right? And so that's what we were thinking. And but later on that evening, that's when she began to feel that her right leg was buckling, like it was just, she couldn't stand on it much. And then so the next day, which was Wednesday, that's when it got worse. And so that's when she came into the office. Now, here's something that's very interesting. I woke up on Wednesday, and this is what I love about the Spirit of God. And this is why I've titled this again, Don't Fear, because God is aware of everything that's going on, guys. God is attentive to everything that is happening. Of course, we know this, but sometimes when things happen, we feel like that since we were caught off guard, maybe God was caught off guard. God, why did you let this happen? No, God is attentive. He's in the midst all the time. He's always there. I woke up on Wednesday and I said, I feel like I have to do several things and get things done early because she had a doctor's appointment scheduled. She had a scheduled doctor's appointment at around 2:30 on Wednesday afternoon. And so I felt in my spirit, I got to get done with everything that I need to early because I feel like I'm going to have to take her to the doctor. And I had just finished a pre-recording for my channel, Perspectives of the Prophetic. I had just finished it. And when I just finished, I clicked off the computer, turned the camera off, and I was doing some typing. She came in, she said, I have to go to the ER. This is not right. Something is wrong. Something is absolutely wrong. And fear struck me. As a matter of fact, actually, this spirit of fear hit me that Tuesday night when she came out of the bathroom after taking a shower. And that's when she told me that her leg buckled. A strong spirit of fear hit me. I mean, it was massive, and it reminds me quite possibly of that same spirit of fear that came upon the prophet back in 2012 when he had a vision and he felt this intense fire and he felt like that it was nuclear and he kept hearing Armageddon, Armageddon, the slaughter of humanity. He said fear gripped him in an unprecedented way for the first time. Okay, that's what he said. Guys, now, so I'm fast forwarding to today, January 20th, okay, 2024. We are in the midst of things that are happening in the world that could very possibly throw us into WW3 and a nuclear exchange. These things are very real and they are possible, right? He felt that fear then. I felt this fear on Tuesday night when she came out. It was intense. And then so when she came into the bedroom the next day after I had finished my pre-record for my channel, that fear hit me again. And it was intense. And that's when I asked everyone for prayer. And so we went to the ER. They did MRI on her head. Everything is fine. But then they was going to send her home. And Sharon said, no, I can't go home. I can't. Because something isn't right. Something isn't right. My leg, I can't walk on my leg. And so, not that she couldn't walk, but every time she walked, she felt like she was going to fall. So she had no strength in her right leg. And so they did an MRI of her lower back. And that's when they found the bulging disc. So we was feeling like it was a pinched nerve. She spent the night in the hospital. They ran some more tests. And then they did an epidural because of the back pain, because Sharon has been in pain. She has a very high pain tolerance. I wish she was here to be able to tell you guys this, okay? But she's laying down and she's taking it easy because now I put my foot down and say, you ain't walking up and down the steps anymore. You're going to take it easy and you're going to chill until you get back together, in other words, okay? So anyway, but she has a very high pain tolerance. And she says most of the time, her pain on a scale from 0 to 10, with 10 being the worst, she's a 5 or a 6 all the time. That's painful. That's pain. Okay? That's pain. And so they gave her an epidural, and then she was fine, but her leg was still, buckling. Her leg was still, I like to call it, I guess I can call it, she couldn't get rid of the stanky leg. You guys remember that dance? Doing the stanky leg. Most of you probably don't know what that is. Just Google it. You'll see stanky leg, stanky leg. So she had this leg issue. And so they determined, this is what they said, they're going to send her home, and that they feel like she had a light or a mild stroke. Now, we rebuke that, and I'm rebuking it here, and I want each and every one of you to rebuke that. No, she did not have a stroke. I'm not buying that. And I'm not concerned whether or not that she did or not. What the point of the matter is that I know that this has passed. It's not coming back. You see, it's not coming back. And so they sent her home, and I've been praying. And you guys remember when I told you that God told me to plead the blood over every situation, even with things that are going good, plead the blood. Okay, plead the blood. Things going bad, plead the blood. Because guys, I'm keeping it real. I know that the blood is powerful. I know it is by the blood that we were saved and washed and made free and cleansed by the power of the blood. But sometimes it's in the back of our minds. We need to really know that the blood is truly, truly powerful. And what God said for me to do is to plead the blood over everything. When I pray over this country, when I pray over those that are in Congress, when I pray over those that are in leadership, I plead the blood over each and every one of them, because this is what God says. The blood will bring forth everything that is hidden. It will rise to the surface. The blood will cleanse. Okay? The blood will cleanse. And if there's anything hidden, it shall be revealed. And that's what is happening in this country now. Things are being revealed. So I'm pleading the blood. And I want you guys to plead the blood, because the blood is powerful, everybody. The blood is powerful. It hasn't lost its power. So I've been pleading the blood. Now, I got good news. I got a good report. Sharon, when she lay on her back and she lift her knees up, okay, and her legs up straight like that, that right leg, she couldn't keep it up like that. It would just fall because it just didn't have any strength in it, okay? But now it's holding up straight. Now she's walking better. Oh yeah, it's still weak, but God is moving. And also when she went into the hospital, her blood pressure was high. And many people that were there, that's where they are coming, that she's possibly had this mild stroke, because her blood pressure was very high. And if I don't know if I got this wrong or right, but I can tell you that that bottom number, which is the important number, when she first went in, it was 118, 120. And the top number was 100 and something. So her blood pressure was pretty high, okay? She's been home. We've been praying. Guess what? Her blood pressure is normal. Her blood pressure is normal. So God is moving, everybody. God is moving. So I want you guys to continue to pray. I want you to continue to lift us up, okay? Because this attack that this enemy is doing, let me tell you something. I felt this fear. I felt it. It was so strong. Even now, at times, when I walk through the house, this fear of death, this fear of destruction, just this fear of ugliness, just kind of like comes on me, and I have to shake it off. I have to tell it to leave. I have to command it to go. And this is a prophetic thing that I'm sensing, that over this nation, there's such a massive spirit of fear that is hovering over this nation, and it's trying to increase with the glory that is increasing, because you see, the glory of the Lord is getting heavier. The anointing, the glory of God, okay, is getting weightier. And that's the reason why things are beginning to be exposed as well. You see? And so this fear is trying to, and it's funny, this fear is trying to outdo his glory. Because see, fear does what? It snares you. Fear takes you to a place of faithlessness. Fear takes you to a place to where you are oppressed and you are without knowledge or without perception. You see, you can't see when you are controlled by a spirit of fear. That's what fear wants to do. It wants to take away your perception. It wants to take away your spiritual hearing, your spiritual sight, your spiritual insight and foresight. You want to look at things in the natural and the things that have happened in the past. And fear says, you see what happened? You see what's happening? Oh no, you need to attend to me. You need to hold on to me, because see, this thing is going to continue to happen. But we need to say and must say, to hell you must go. You have to go there. You see, you have to go there. But this fear is what's trying to outweigh the glory of God that is coming up on this earth, and especially in this country. This is what the Lord gave me before I came on here. This is what, and I wrote this down. I said, I feel that the Lord is showing me and saying, the spirit of fear has risen all across this nation. It's getting its energy from the pundits of the media, both social and mainstream. But the Lord is saying, stand still, my remnant. Stand still and truly watch and see the salvation of God as I truly begin to sweep across this nation and the nations of the world. So fear not, God says. fear not, but truly know that the fear of the Lord is at hand, and salvation and deliverance is present. That's what the Lord gave me. That's the word he gave me. I want you to receive this, and I want you to share it. Because this spirit of fear that is trying to continue to grip this nation, it has lost. It has lost this grip, but it is holding on because of the pundits of social and mainstream media and the people that are perpetrating all of this ugliness and this evil against we, the people of the United States, we, the people of God. So we need to understand this. We need to understand this, guys, that fear has no power. God has not given us a spirit of fear, but he's given us his spirit, which is love, peace, and a sound mind. This is what we must hold on to. Now, before I end, I got to talk about a few things that the spirit of fear is doing and some things that are happening, okay? Some things that are happening. Now, I'm about to play a video. I'm about to play a video because, see, things are beginning to really, really pick up. Things are really beginning to pick up, guys. It's getting ugly. And like God has shown us this. He's shown us this, okay? He spoke through the mouth of my mentor, Prophet Kim Clement, years ago, back in 2014, 2012, okay? He spoke about storm and about the enemy that is trying to come, that will blacken out our nation, that will bring America to its knees, that will cripple our economy and do all of this stuff. This is what is trying to take place. This is what's happening, okay? There's a standoff that is happening right now between DC and the media, and everyone keeps saying between President Biden and Governor Abbott of Texas. Now, let me tell you guys something. I'm going to ask you guys a question, okay? Who do you think is truly calling the shots in DC as far as the presidency of the United States? Do you really believe that Joe Biden is calling the shots? Those of you that know what I'm talking about, I want you to share this video with people that think that he is, because they need to hear me say this. Do you really, really think that Joe Biden is calling the shots? Okay? No, not at all. I'm going to say it, and I'm going to say it boldly. Number 44 is still active. He's still active. Guys, it doesn't take a rocket scientist. It doesn't take a very powerful prophetic word of knowledge to know this. And I mean, it's very obvious, okay? It's very obvious. But we do have prophetic utterances that points to this, okay? But that's another day. I will talk about this. I'm about to play a video, and I want you guys to check this video out. So I'm throwing out this disclaimer right now. I'm throwing out this disclaimer. I want you to know that in this video, this young lady, she dropped some serious F-bombs. So this is what I want. Those of you that will be offended by the F-bombs, those of you that will be offended, I want you to mute the sound now. Because see, that stuff doesn't bother me. I'm not offended by someone that talks like that. Now, if it's over aggressive and over the top, that every other word is F this, F this, F this, no way. I don't have time for that, because that's not language. That's not speaking to somebody. That's ignorance. That's stupidity. It's not even ignorance. It's stupidity. So I'm not down with that. But this lady drops a few F-bombs. So I'm giving you time to mute. I'm going to say, boom, I'm going to start the video, or I'm going to present the video, and then I'm going to ask you to mute your sound if this offends you, okay? If this offends you, all right? Because I'm not here to offend. But this is something that is happening. And guys, we need to understand that the mainstream media, they are lying to us. They've been lying to us for decades upon decades upon decades. They've been lying. Okay? So this could get me in trouble with some of these platforms, but I don't care anymore. I don't care. Because the truth needs to be heard. It cannot be oppressed any longer. Guys, I want you to check this out. Okay, so here it is. This is the young lady. I'm about to play it. I want those of you that if you are offended by some F-bombs or by some cussing, please mute your sound now. I'm counting down from 5 seconds to 0. 5, 4, 3, 2.
Well, good morning. I don't know if you guys have heard of what's about to go popping off at the Texas border between Biden and Governor Abbott, but let me fill you in. I actually had to write this one down, so I have cliff notes. According to what's happening right now, as we all know, is Abbott had the Texas National Guard come in and secure the border, and he basically shot out all the federal border agents and said, you're not coming in here. We are going to take over this border, and we are going to do what the federal government has not done, which is shut down the illegal migration that's going on. The Biden administration has now fired back, stating, because of Title 118, Section 1114, the failed to vacate, the Biden administration, if they do not vacate that premises, are planning to arrest or fine them for either up to 5.
Okay, now something has happened. Okay, something has happened because it's out of sync now. And I heard a little click. Now I don't know what that is. Okay, but let's just keep going. But it's out of sync right now. Okay, everything that she's saying right now. Let me see if I'm in sync. Am I in sync? Yeah, I think I'm in sync. Okay, so everything that she's saying right now is out of sync. For some reason, it's just clicked and it got out of sync. But let's continue, all right? Okay, hey, those of you, if you click your mute button, if you unmute it, mute again, because we ain't done, because she ain't dropped the bombs yet. Here we go.
Sending all their people in to help the Texas National Guard secure the border, which is indeed Joe Biden's solemn responsibilities to protect the country that he's supposedly in charge of. And instead of doing that, he is threatening with them basically prison or $5,000 fines for not allowing him to let more people into this country illegally. So I want you guys to think about this really long and hard here. The president of the United States is basically threatening the National Guard of Texas and Governor Abbott with prison and fines if they don't stop securing the border. Did you hear me correctly when I said that? The Biden administration is threatening to imprison and fine the Texas National Guard for securing the fucking border of the United States of America and stopping the illegal migrant flow coming into this country. Did you hear what I just fucking said to you? Like, how much more, people? So now you have these other states that are going to be sending in more aid to Governor Abbott to help secure our border from the own president of the United States. So the president of the United States is not wanting to stop the flow of illegal migration coming into this country. He's basically threatening jail time and fines because Governor Abbott has decided to secure the nation, which he has failed to do. So for every single person sitting in your lives all day saying, Joe Biden's not doing this, the Republicans they vote down every single bill for border security. I'm going to need you to take a couple seats down with that garbage too, because that whole narrative goes right out the window when you have the president of the United States threatening jail time and fines to our own National Guard of Texas. Okay? So much so that these other states are sending in their own guards to help Texas secure the damn border. I'm going to say it once and I'll say it again. Border security is probably one of the biggest problems facing this nation, while Joe Biden tells you it's white supremacy. Yeah, he's willing to put his own American citizens in jail and fine them for securing the border because he has failed to do so. They don't want this problem stopped. They used to care about the minority communities, but you, as far as the minority communities are concerned, have been pushed aside. And all of these illegal migrants that are flowing and dumping into your cities are all 100% caused by Joe Biden and that administration. So I'm going to need you to think about this. While the mainstream media has you obsessively telling you to hate Donald Trump as much as they do, meanwhile, there's a literal war going down at our southern border right now, and Joe Biden could give two shits about it. He wants to flood this country full of illegal migration because they know that they have lost the minority communities at this point, because they have flooded their communities with illegal migrants that now are going to be sitting on the taxpayer dime. So let me recap this for you. Instead of securing the border, he has now threatened to throw Americans in jail for doing their job, securing the border, because he doesn't want to stop the flow of illegal migrants coming into this country. And he's willing to threaten Governor Abbott and the Texas National Guard. So kudos to Florida, Nebraska, Tennessee, Mississippi for sending in their people to help control and protect this country from God knows who is coming across that border. Enough that the FBI and the CIA have told people that the terror threat now is more dangerous than it was after 9/11. But Joe Biden doesn't care. He wants to flood this country full of illegals, and Governor Abbott and now these states are the only thing that's stopping him. So apparently it's going to be about a standoff today. I think they had till today to vacate the border and vacate the premises due to title whatever. At what point, people, do you guys wake up and see this? One person is talking about stopping all of these conflicts, which we now have 3 under Joe Biden, bringing a close to this migration issue that's happening at our southern border, bringing our economy back. The other guy's telling you that white supremacy is the big boogeyman around every corner, and that if you vote for him, that it's all about white supremacy. The other guy's talking about bringing our country back. You know, the guy that they're trying to tell you so hard is such a horrible human being. Yeah, wake up, people. If you can't see this, you're part of the problem. Good talk, and go fucking Texas. Well, good.
I told you guys. Okay. All right. So those of you that muted you can unmute. You can unmute now. Wow. Now, this is what I haven't been able to confirm, whether or not that they have actually said and have implemented arresting the National Guardsmen and women who are there now doing their jobs to protect our border. Okay. But everything that she said, I did research that. And this is true. I'm going to show you 2 different reports on this. Like I said, we need to stay away from the media. We don't need to be influenced by the media. Oh, we need to know what's going on. But what we first and foremost need to do is to connect with heaven, with the government of heaven. We are his ecclesia upon earth, okay? And we are of his government. We are of his kingdom. And so we connect with him first, and then we can discern what's going on. That's why I keep preaching Romans 12, 1 and 2, presenting our bodies on a daily basis as a living sacrifice. Okay, holy and acceptable. Because when we do this, we won't conform to the things of this world. You wouldn't want to. You don't want to. If you do this all the time. And then when you do this, your mind is being refreshed or renewed daily. And we're not talking about the carnal mind. We're talking about our spiritual mind, the mind of Christ. That mind is being renewed. It's going from glory to glory to glory. Every day a metamorphosis takes place. And then we can discern, know, recognize, identify anything and everything. Okay? And if it doesn't have these attributes, these three attributes of God, we can tell it to get away. That is the good, acceptable, and perfect will of God. When we do this, guys, we can discern this. This is what I've been seeing. Now, I read two different reports. I'm going to show you first the Guardian. Okay? The Guardian is the one that reports it straight up. Okay? This is what the Guardian says. Texas refuses to comply with Biden administration order on border access. And it tells the truth about everything that is going on. It's not trying to spin it, or at least what I've read so far. I don't see in this report that it's being spent, or they are trying to spin this report. You say, I don't see that, all right? But now I want to show you another report. I want to show you what CNN says. This is CNN's report. Anybody out there still listening to these liars? CNN? Okay, CNN says, Texas mayors are fed up with Biden and Abbott's bickering over the border. They put a different spin on it. They put in a different spin. Can you see that? Do you recognize the BS? Not only can you recognize it, but I can smell it. It stinks, y'all. It stinks. It's full of crap. Texas mayors are fed up with Biden and Abbott's bickering over over the border. And guys, every time you see that name with Biden, like I said just a few minutes ago, who do you think is really calling the shots? Do you think this is Biden? This is what was reported. Okay, this is what the writer that reported this, okay, CNN Politics, this is what this individual said. Okay, all right. First, they said bickering. Really? Bickering? This is not bickering. All right? We are being invaded, everybody. This is what the writer says. Texas leaders attending the United States Conference of Mayors in Washington, D.C., said the partisan bickering between the state and the federal government will not help solve what they describe as a true humanitarian crisis. Now, let me ask you guys something. Do you really think that this is a true humanitarian crisis? When you have 6 million people that are rushing over, but we know without a doubt that thousands upon thousands upon thousands of mercenaries have crossed over. Okay? Cartels, fentanyl, that has been killing our young people. You see, the news media, they think we're stupid. Well, a lot of people are. I hate to say it, but a lot of people are still listening to this kind of garbage. And then I want you to check this out. I want you to check out, okay? I want you to check out NBC's spin on this report. I want you to hear what they said, okay? I want you to check this out. Listen to what this reporter says. Check this out.
Between the Biden administration and the state of Texas over how to handle the border is heating up after the drowning deaths of 3 migrants in the Rio Grande. The Texas Attorney General is rejecting.
After the drowning deaths of some migrants in the Rio Grande. Yes, that's terrible, everybody. That's bad. But come on, let's continue. Let's listen to this.
A cease and desist letter from the Department of Justice after the Biden administration said Texas had barred some Border Patrol agents from accessing a key part of the border. NBC News Homeland Security correspondent Julia Ainsley covers all of this for us. Joins me now. Hi, Julia. So for more than a week now, Texas authorities have blocked, we think, border agents. Do I have that right? From going into a 50-acre park called Shelby Park. Why is that important? And where is this legal battle going?
You have that right, Kate. And Shelby Park is a place you've seen me, Morgan Chesky, so many of us come to you live because it's been an epicenter for the migrant crisis. It's where a lot of migrants are crossing over. You can see those dangerous waters by the Rio Grande coming through that razor wire that is sometimes cut by Border Patrol to let in people who are in distress. They were completely blocked. Border Patrol is completely blocked by Texas Department of Public Safety last week.
Okay, let me stop that. Sometimes cut by the Border Patrol. Why are they cutting those barbed wires? Look, everyone, my heart goes out to that mother and her children that drowned, without a doubt. My heart goes out to them. But why would they try to cross over at a point that is so dangerous? Why would they try to cross over? Why don't they just come in legally? Why don't they just come in to where, I mean, there's entryways to where they don't have to try to cross a dangerous spot to get in. And what's going on in these countries that's driving these people here like this? Because I can remember back in 1930s, in the 30s, in the 40s, well, actually before World War II, there were millions of Jews that tried to come into this nation, but this nation wouldn't let them in. Now, they had a legit reason to leave Germany, but so many nations didn't allow those Jews to come into their nations, and especially this nation. We didn't allow them to come. Millions of Jews with children, where they did horrific experiments on children. They didn't allow those people in. They didn't allow those Jewish people in. And now they spinning this story like this. God says, bull, okay? It's bull. Just like that lady said, are we going to wake up now?
Because Governor Greg Abbott told them that Border Patrol could not have access to that part anymore. They not only could the men and women not go in, they had to remove their equipment. So they weren't able to see footage, Kate, when a mother and her 2 young children were in distress last week. They say they could have been able to save them. Instead, they drowned in the Rio Grande. Now, last night, the Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton responded to a cease and desist order from the Biden administration, saying that no, they will not turn this land over to Border Patrol. They will not give them access. And what we can expect, Kate, is probably now for the Justice Department to start a lawsuit, because DHS, when they asked Texas to cease and desist and allow them into that land, they said if they didn't, they would take the matter to the Justice Department. Right now, the Justice Department not commenting on this, but we can imagine that they're probably preparing a lawsuit. And again, this would be the 3rd time the Biden administration would be suing Texas Governor Greg Abbott over his policies on immigration.
And Julia, just quickly, I would imagine maybe some migrants would be deterred now from going into Texas. Is that happening?
Well, we have seen uptick in other places, like in Arizona. By and large, the numbers are not nearly as high as they were in December anywhere, though, Kate.
All right, Julia Ainsley for us. Julia, thank you.
Okay, so let me go on record again. I don't have a hard heart. I love people. God has, as a matter of fact, I know that my mission field, my next mission field is Latin America. I know that. So my heart goes out to these people. But come on, everybody. We know what's being spun here. We know exactly what's being spun. Okay? We know what's happening here. That's a dangerous crossing. So why try to bring kids across something like that? So where are you coming from that it is so bad that you have to risk the life of your children to get over here? Like that. Was it like what was happening back during the Holocaust or before the Holocaust started? Are you living in a country that's oppressing you, that's doing that? That's taking your children and conducting outrageous experiments on? Something like that happening? Or let's look at what's happening in Africa, in Nigeria, where millions of Christian blacks have been slaughtered, beheaded by Muslim blacks. And they're trying to get out of that country. We don't see America letting those people in. We don't see America going over there. Is this really a humanitarian crisis? Why don't we send a couple of planes over to Nigeria, over to that country, so we can get some of these people that are being murdered and slaughtered? So my heart goes out. My heart goes out to these people. But at the same time, our country is being invaded. This is not a humanitarian crisis. This is an outright invasion. This is what's happening. So anyway, I'm going to end with this. This is how I pray, and this is how I'm going to ask you, or this is what I'm going to ask you to begin to pray, so that we can stop this evil. Because really and truly, the ones that are allowing that have allowed this silliness to take place is really the culprits behind that lovely family. If that did indeed happen, if it happened, the ones that have allowed this to really happen, to let people just flood across and we're hearing that you can just, all you got to do is just get up there and they will let you in. You see, if we had strong leadership and those people knew before they even came that they weren't getting in, just like it was between 2017 and 2021. It was like that. It was under control. It was under control. You see? All right? So really the culprits behind all of this, it's the ones that are perpetrating it. But this is how God directed me to pray. He directed me to go to Mark 11. Mark chapter 11, verses 22 through 24. I like to call this the fig tree prayer. This is after when Jesus spoke to that fig tree that presented itself to have figs, and it should have had figs, but it didn't. So it presented itself to be something that it wasn't. That's exactly what these people that are running this country, the ones that they said the Biden administration and those people, they are presented, oh, we're being good. No, they are likened unto fig trees. And this is what God directed me to pray. And so I'm going to direct you to pray this way. So Jesus answered and said to them, have faith in God, for surely I said to you, whoever says to this mountain, be removed and be cast into the sea, and does not doubt in his heart, but believes that those things he says will be done, he will have whatever he says. Therefore I said to you, whatever things you ask when you pray, believe that you receive them, and you will have them. We can say to these mountains, be removed and be cast into the sea. It's time for the removal of this defiance of righteousness and the iniquity that has been perpetrated in this land and upon us, we the people. The defiance and the iniquity that is being perpetrated in that house called White, in that area called DC, which shouldn't be there anyway. That's a whole nother subject too. DC, District of Columbia, that's a whole nother thing that's been shoved down our throats, and it's a lie. But that's something else, okay? I said this because it is without a doubt that defiance and iniquity is in full effect in our country, in our places of hierarchy or leadership. And it's time for us to say to those mountains, be removed and be cast into the sea, and doubt not that the very thing that you're asking and believing for, it shall take place. Why? Because when unrighteousness is prevalent, we can call forth and demand for righteousness to stand. And God will hear our prayer, and this shall be done. That's why he says, if my people who are called by my name, if they will humble themselves, seek my face and pray, and turn from their wicked ways, I will hear from heaven. Now, of course, I'm paraphrasing. I will hear from heaven, and I will heal your land. Guess what, y'all? God is healing our land. Let's continue to pray. Let's continue to go into this fight faithfully, knowing that the battle has already been won. Okay, so I went longer than what I wanted to. So I want you guys, like I said, continue to pray for Sharon. She's doing better. She's doing better, and she's getting stronger. Okay, she's getting stronger. So I want you guys to share this. And who knows, after what I just shared tonight, man, I might be in what they call that thing they call. I'm not even going to say, but I don't care about that. I know that I'm somewhere in the future. You know that you're somewhere in the future. We have arrived in the future. It's ugly. It's bad. Turmoil. All this garbage that's going on. But guess what? We look good. And when JESUS is in full effect, Jesus is by our side, your side, my side. We put the devil in check. This is the Ritz. I love you guys. And Sharon will be back on with me soon, okay? All right. Take care. See ya.
You are God, my peace, Lord, my joy.